Hey everyone, it's 2024 already? Oh my god. Honkai Impact 3 will enter part 2 in less than a month for SN server. To commemorate the ending of part 1 and 1.5, let's talk about how good the old Valkyries were in the past. Just to remind us of the good old times. And new players can learn the humble beginnings of the game. Let's start the first episode with how good were the original trio characters? The B-rank Valkyries, Kiana's White Comet, May's Crimson Impulse, and Bronya's Valkyrie Chariot. These are the starter characters. They are not meant to be strong. We didn't have flashy Valkyries like Hershers and Elysia, but this B-rank did the job just fine to hook us weeps into the game. But did you know that out of these weak B-rank characters, one of them is actually very meta in the early days of Honkai Impact 3? Can you guess who? It's the Bronya Valkyrie Chariot. VC was used in Memorial Arena a lot. She was great against Shadow Knight and Callan, and probably more, I forgot. We didn't have a lot of bosses back then, so these two bosses appear almost every week. So VC's big damage output comes from her being able to stack missiles during time fracture. So firstly you have to evade with VC and do a level 3 charge attack, and then you have to quickly evade and do another level 3 charge attack. You have to line up the two missile charges so that they both hit the enemy at around the same time. If they are too far apart, the second charge attack will not get Schrödinger stigma buff, and then you have to use Yamabuki Armor QTE and Evasion skill to trigger time fracture to extend time fracture, and then you have to repeat the process. Also, you need the boss to do the right attacks. For example, you don't want SK to use her shield. If she uses this skill, then you just reset the run. And you repeat the process until the boss is dead. There are both gacha and free-to-play gears for this ride, which means both whales and free-to-plays were using Valkyrie Chariot. For a weapon, you want a heavy weapon that fires missiles. Flint Sonata is the best one, but it was a gacha only weapon, so only whales would have this. Your free-to-play options were either Briareus Pry or the 3-star Azure Eye. A lot of players had Azure, including me. For Stigma, you need Schrödinger T with .GXYMB, so Schrödinger T can be exchanged with 6000 Stigma Resonance. Getting Stigma Reso was very slow back then. Shuro T was accessible, it just takes a very long time to farm as a free-to-play. So if you are still farming Stigma Reso for Schrödinger T, Jingwei T can be used instead, but there is a big damage difference. Some players used Plank MB, but this is a lot bolder since Plank does not have any crit rate. Now some of you newish players might be wondering, what are these stigma? Yeah, these are very old stigma that are not recommended on anyone anymore. So let's take a look at the effects. Schrödinger T charges once every 6 seconds. The next basic attack has a 50% chance of gaining either 205% or 52% total damage multiplier for a short duration. This TDM bonus is very short but will apply to all your attacks, to all your missiles, but it is a 50-50 chance to deal either 205% or 52% TDM. Basically, even after a perfect run setup, you can still get screwed by Schrödinger RNG, and you need multiple rotations to defeat the boss, so you have to make this RNG check 3 or 4 times if you want a perfect run. That is a lot of reset. And this is Jingwei T. When there are no more than 1 enemies on the battlefield, gain 31% total damage multiplier. You can see that Jingwei buff is not even close to the bad RNG buff from Schrödinger T. Now we move on to Dark G Xuanyuan. JXYM, when global time fracture is active, gain 30% crit rate. So this 30% crit rate is really important to help all your missiles crit. The JXYB, when global time fracture is active, gain 30% move speed and 25% attack speed. So the reason you can use charge attack very quickly is because of the bonus attack speed from DJXYB and Rishi's evasion skill. So next, DJXY2 piece. When global time fracture is active, gain 40% physical damage. This is one of the reasons you want the missiles to hit during time fracture. 40% physical buff is pretty big at a time. Okay, that's enough on Bronya. What about White Comet and Crimson Impulse? So they never had any big impact anywhere. In the early days, I only used them for meme runs. If you have new supports and gear, then you can use them to clear Abyss or Arena. But in 2021, something big happened that changed White Comet forever. On March 2021, version 4.7 beta. This version adds 2 new equipment. A new Divine Key Abyss Flower, which comes with a new Sigma Avogadro, a well-known CN player Auto Guy, figure out a strat that makes a very old gun, Proto Albrecht bow, to have almost 0 SP cost by using the new Avogadro Sigma. Now let me just show you the machine gun strat. So this strat works on any character that uses guns. I borrowed the tech and used it on White Comet. So this does require you to bleed enemies to get the SP regen on every weapon active cast. So back then you had to rely on Tesla Zero Elf's ultimate to bleed. Because of the long cooldown, this strat was only reliable in Arena. Fast forward to June 2022, Gracio's Battlesuit story impression was added to the game. She is a physical support that can apply bleed. So this means you don't need Tesla Zero Elf anymore. And also means this strat can now be used in long battles like Abyss and SSS Arena bosses. In the end, this is just a fun strat. Yeah, it's not meta. And that is all for our beloved trio characters. Who do you think I should cover next? Let me know in the comment section.